Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Tuesday, September 26, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's Monday Night Raw broadcast live on USA Network from the Toyota Center in Ontario, California. In the main event, Finn Balor and Damian Priest of Judgment Day defeated Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn when Priest pinned Zayn due in part to interference from Dominic Mysterio. After the match, brawling erupted around the ring involving members of the Judgment Day as well as Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, and JD McDonough, with Rhodes and Uso on the side of Zayn and Owens and McDonough siding with Judgment Day.
As JD McDonough finally proved himself to Damian Priest in the Judgment Day.
The question only one man can
answer. Wait a minute! So much for the celebration! Uso and Cody Rhodes back into the fight. Chaos again here at the end of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, this ain't ending tonight, Cole.
They're getting the hell out of the way.
Good luck separating these guys.
Drew McIntyre pinned Kofi Kingston due in part to distraction when Kingston's partner Xavier Woods was attacked at ringside by Ivar of the Viking Raiders. Following the match, Ivar also attacked Kingston, which McIntyre refused to prevent. The match arose from an interview on Miz TV in which McIntyre was criticized by New Day for his treatment of Jey Uso.
The Drew McIntyre that we know is not a coward like you showed us last week.
I mean, for real, for the past few years, we've been calling you Big D. But as of last week, it looks like there's been a little bit of shrinkage on your end. I mean, what's wrong, Drew? What's wrong? You scared? Or were you just worried that that big old sword you got was just a little too limp to get the job done?
Hey! Big D and Massive Miz were having a conversation.
Shut up, Miz!
Dragon Lee made his main roster WWE debut on the show, falling in defeat to NXT North American champion Dominic Mysterio. In other results, Nia Jax pinned Zoe Stark in Jax's first singles match in 2 years. Tegan Nox defeated Natalya to earn a shot at NXT Women's Champion Becky Lynch. Tommaso Ciampa bested Ludwig Kaiser, and Bronson Reed pinned Otis in the opening match. In more WWE news, Fox is planning to air a SmackDown special next month. According to PW Insider, the top 25 moments in WWE SmackDown history will air on Fox on Sunday, October 8th. The special is scheduled to be syndicated across many Fox markets, but will air at different times due to local NFL coverage. As was previously reported last week, Fox's deal to air SmackDown ends in October of 2024, after which the show is scheduled to head to USA Network. In news out of Japan overnight, Pro Wrestling Noah has announced that one of its top stars, Katsuhiko Nakajima, would be terminating his contract at the end of the month. In a press release issued this morning, Noah stated that Nakajima would have his last matches on October 20th at Korakuen Hall in Tokyo and October 28th at the Fukuoka International Center in Fukuoka. Neither Noah nor Nakajima have yet to comment as to the reason for his departure. The 35-year-old began wrestling professionally at the age of 14 in early 2004 before joining Kensuke Sasaki's booking office in early 2005, alongside Sasaki, Akira Hokuto, Kento Miyahara, Takashi Yoshioka, and Takashi Okita. Nakajima became a regular for Pro Wrestling Noah in July of 2008 and has been a two-time GHC World Champion. In ratings news, last Friday's SmackDown drew a total audience of 2.227 million viewers to Fox, according to WrestleNomics. That total is up from the preliminary number in overnight ratings, which was 2.115 million. The rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was .63, equating to 822,000 viewers, and up from the overnight figure of .58. The 2-hour Grand Slam edition of AEW Rampage, which aired the same evening on TNT, drew a total audience of 341,000, an increase from the previous week's 335,000. The key demographic rating for Rampage was .12, up from the previous week's .09 key demo rating. In injury news, Sheamus is currently out of action with a shoulder injury, according to a report on Wrestling Observer Radio. The 14-year WWE veteran has not been seen in a month, with his last match being a loss to Edge on the August 18th edition of SmackDown. Two New Japan Pro Wrestling stars are also on the shelf, with New Japan yesterday issuing a press release indicating that Hiroki Goto has sustained an undisclosed injury, and Taichi has requested a short leave of absence from New Japan's Road to Destruction tour. Goto's injury occurred on Sunday at New Japan's Destruction in Kobe event. As a result, he was not cleared for his scheduled matches yesterday in Nagoya and today in Fukui. No timetable was provided for either man's return to the ring. In streaming news, Peacock and WWE Network have added more episodes of WWF Superstars to their streaming platforms. The newly added episodes cover January 5th through February 16th, 1997, and include such matches as The Undertaker vs. The Goon, Intercontinental Champion Hunter Hearst Helmsley against Ahmed Johnson, Stone Cold Steve Austin against Vader, as well as a recap of Shawn Michaels giving up the WWE World Championship on Monday Night Raw. The currently available episodes for Superstars stretch almost to the end of the show's run as a first-run program before it became strictly a recap show later in 1997. And in news from outside the ring, the TV series Heels has been canceled by the Starz cable network after 2 seasons, according to Variety yesterday. The scripted drama starring Stephen Amell and chronicling the exploits of a fictional Georgia-based wrestling territory was one of several Starz programs also canceled in the wake of the end of the Writers Guild of America strike. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.